Hello everyone, it's a long time since I've seen you. So in my last video, we discussed how I was working on a graphic novel project entitled What Michael Saw. Well, I have good news for you. Since that time, I have finalized the script, at least I'm satisfied about it for now. And I also had my artist is about to complete the concept art for the project. Now I should clarify something. The artist who is doing my project thinks that she isn't going to be able to finish the comic itself. So for this time, I might just put the whole comic on the back burner and work on something else. But there's also good news. Now with that other project on the back burner, thankfully now I'm working on a new comic series called Just Animals, which is about a bunch of anthropomorphic animal superheroes fighting in Philadelphia. I'll be working on that instead of the What Michael Saw graphic novel. However, I'm not going to be talking about my comics today. Today I'm addressing the elephant in the room, the apparent direction of my going from making movies to making comics. Well, it's true, I am no longer writing screenplays or planning to make films at the moment, or at least any time in the foreseeable future. And I am directing all my creative attention to developing comics at the moment. So why is this? Well, does this mean that I have lost all interest in movies? No, that's not true. Of course not. In fact, at the moment, I'm currently going through many pretentious, interesting series, such as The Wheel of Time, Bujipop Phantom, the anime, and Mushishi, which is also a great anime series that actually I just finished by the time I'm saying this, in a hunt to find the best TV shows of all time and learn from them. So, and of course, I just can't wait till the end of the month when I'm able to see The Matrix Resurrections and Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie, and as well as that new Tragedy of Macbeth movie by, I believe, Joel Coen. So, I'm very much into film still. But to go back to comics, why have I got such an interest in them? I thought, movies is something you'd fight for forever, Matt. Well, why not something arguably more easily to make, such as writing novels, or maybe something that's maybe harder but more popular, like gaming, making games, game dev? Well, as I had stated before in previous videos, comics have grown on me. At the prompting of the suggestions of the internet reviewer J.G. Keeley, I have read through the works of Alan Moore, as well as read the manga series Lone Wolf and Cub and Akira, which are, as you probably know, classics of the genre. Also, I think this is a sort of logical progression based off my writing habits in the last 5 years. I've always been attracted both to films and shows that reflect the singular vision of an author, or as the French like to call it, an auteur. I was also attracted to films that have a sort of cartoony sensibility, that had very, what we call artistic set design and very intentional use of lighting. It would maybe be found in the films of Tim Burton or Terry Gilliam. So from there, I found myself also greatly attracted to the freedom in animation, especially the bravery to tackle various genres and subjects found in Japanese anime, or just the European art house scene, which has some comparable works, not which of all I love, but have the sort of same freedom and sensibility to go out there and do something that only animation can, and that serious drama films aren't afraid to tackle. But I would say the number one reason I'm now making comics and movies comes down to money. Also, there are other factors that I feel that prompted me to go to comics, such as the fact that we might be facing down an economic crisis, the lockdowns made it almost impossible to make anything live action, the rising cancel culture in this country, and especially in the institution of Hollywood, and probably other things I'm forgetting right now. Another interesting reason why I decided to move from movies to comics is the whole tragedy of Shane Carruth. For those who don't know, Shane Carruth spent a lot of his time making movies, and he only came up with 2 produced, which are Primer and Upstream Color. He tried to produce 2 other movies called Etopiary and The Modern Ocean, but these never formulated. He's basically said he lost his life trying to make films. I don't want to be that way. I want to actually see my ideas made, even if they are not in the form of films themselves, which is okay for me. As much as I love Carruth's films, I'd rather swallow my pride and produce my projects as comics rather than films. Of course, there's always the possibility that my films will get a good, faithful adaptation one day, even if it's in my lifetime and possibly directed by me, or at least I have a high amount of creative control. I mean, a lot of big name indie animation right now is a result of creators funding campaigns to adapt their own work, such as in the case of Hazbin Hotel, or the upcoming Lackadaisy Cats short film, which I also want to hopefully see. Since my decision to pursue comics, I see my future as very bright indeed. Right now, I am working on projects I know I could never do in live action, except if they were funded by a company like Disney or the like. Not only this, as I grow my website, yes I have a website now, social media universe, especially this YouTube channel, I bring in more fans that will love and support my work, and will also be among the first who will experience my comics. It is with this hopeful future I leave you. I hope to do more videos about my upcoming comic series Just Animals, not just to promote it, but to give you an idea of what I will bring to the comics world. Once I finalize at least the outlines for the entire series, probably once I finish maybe a bunch of scripts for the first couple of issues. Now, all this will be in the making for a bit, so in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and look out for great videos on my content, including Just Animals. So, until then, this is Mr. Fiction 1, hoping you have a great day and subscribe.